Good morning, Ventura. Welcome to another fun-filled episode of Fun with HR, the show where we talk about human resources, but really we feature you.
Good morning, Rosandra.
Good morning, Jeff.
So, what was our burning HR issue this week?
Oh my goodness. You mean one of like 100 that we had to deal with?
What's the one that stands out in your mind?
Drinking on the job.
Oh, that one again.
It's not even the holidays and we're already drinking on the job.
How nice. Were they at least having a good time while they were drinking on the job?
It doesn't matter because I got to let them know it's against handbook policy. It's against the drug and alcohol policy. And of course, if they had gotten hurt, most companies now require their work comp carriers to also have a panel. That means, they get screened.
Well, one of the things that we're doing right now with our monthly safety meetings for our clients is this is the time of the year where we have alcohol and substance abuse and what to do with all the holiday parties coming on so that you don't drink on the job or you do not come to work drunk. And also, we talk to the employers about what would be appropriate for a holiday party.
Right, and I know we often are the non-fun people because we say no drinking, make sure that if there is going to be any drinking, you have a ticket system, and it's a lot of work, but also a lot of what? Liability.
And to think HR used to be thought of as the coffee and party people.
Used to, but now we're the no people.
Welcome to 2021.
Very good.
Also this week, the CDC and FDA have given approval for Johnson & Johnson Moderna boosters. And also the county extended the indoor mask requirement. If you need more information on that, go to www.venturacountyrecovers.org. But there's going to be a whole lot more people being able to get boosters now.
Yes, definitely. I'm looking forward to having more information available.
And what's new around town?
So, one of the things that we're constantly looking for is ways for us to just support local. And Pirano's let us know that they're having a charcuterie with Shannon October 28th, 5:30. It's $45 a person. But what I really love about it is that it's a live demo. So that in itself is awesome. But it's going to also be followed by a 3-course meal on the terraza with live music. So you get to create your charcuterie, then you get to eat it while your meal is being cooked, and then you have a fabulous time.
All that, and the cost is $45 a person. I
Yes.
mean, the meal itself is probably worth $45, but when you throw in the charcuterie also, that's a great deal.
Yes, but I'm all about supporting my community, our community, and it just so happened that the Boys and Girls Club is now gone virtual with their annual auction. So I've already registered. I've already checked out what is being auctioned and what is going to be auctioned. There's going to be a live auction because it's virtual on November 18th. Have you heard of that?
I have heard of that, and I've looked at it, and I could only imagine which art pieces you've selected to bid on.
I love the art pieces that our boys and girls have made. I think it's amazing that, at least in our office, those pieces go up on our wall right next to some of, what I consider masters, next to our Kincaids, our Coleman, that sort of thing.
Yeah, and it'll be a good time, and make sure you check that out. We'll have the information on our Fun with HR Facebook page, so make sure you check that out. But we really have a fun show today.
Do we?
Yes, we do. We have Adam Casillas with the Latino Business Expo and to talk about the expo that's coming up this Thursday. It's hard to believe it's this Thursday already. And it's the first expo in, I believe, 2 years.
Okay, so you have to make sure I don't believe it's Tuesday, because in my world, it's always Tuesday.
It's always Tuesday, but I'll make sure you get there on time because we have a booth.
Thank you.
So we got to make sure you're aware so that we get that booth set up. We also have Nelson Lopez with WineShop at Home. And we've known Nelson for a few years now, at least.
Yes.
And Nelson really puts on a good show with his wine tastings.
Absolutely. Can't wait to talk to him.
But why don't you go ahead and introduce our first guest today?
Well, our first guest happens to be someone that I consider to be an amazing human being, not just a woman, but just an amazing human being, Seana Marie Sesma. is here, and she happens to be here representing NAWBO, and we're going to talk about exactly what NAWBO is. But just to give you a little bit of background, Seana is not new to our community. She has, in fact, owned various businesses. Some of you may remember the Wine Rack, Asana Promotions, and now she has Your PR Girls. She's a serial entrepreneur, but you have, if there's a hustle and there's work and there's way to connect people, if you don't know Seana, you're just not really working that hard. So we want to make sure that we give her the opportunity. Remember, we're all here to network. We're here to feature each other. More importantly, I'm hoping that she's going to tell us all about NAWBO and everything that we have to look forward to with it. So please welcome Seana Marie.
Thank you.
Seana.
Yes.
Holy cow, NAWBO. Tell us about NAWBO.
Oh my gosh, NAWBO. So NAWBO is the National Association of Women Business Owners, and it's a phenomenal organization that's national. And we have 11 chapters here in California alone, and we're the only dues-based organization representing interests of all women entrepreneurs across all industries, with chapters across the country, with far-reaching clout and impact. NAWBO is your one-stop resource, and we are propelling women business owners into greater economic, social, and political spheres of power worldwide.
Wow. Mm-hmm. So I know I've been in business for a little over 10 years now, and I had not joined NAWBO, and it wasn't until you became president that I said, this is an organization that I need to check out. Tell us some of the things that we have to look forward to just in the next couple of weeks.
Okay, great. Well, our most exciting program is called the ABCs of DEI. Ooh. And yes, diversity, equity, inclusion. Diversity is about all of us having to figure out how to walk through this world together. And the ABCs of DEI is going to be an open conversation and dialogue and education about being supportive in this new and so important concept of really making sure that you are in your business world and in your personal life, that you are serving and being aware of the diversity, equity, inclusion that is appropriate. And a lot of us don't know the languaging. We're a little confused with the messaging and what are we supposed to do? What are we not supposed to do? So we're going to have an open dialogue. So 3 one-hour sessions. And at the end of the session, you will be certified to where you can be able to take that information back into your workspace.
So part of this, and the reason why it's so important to me that you're doing this is because we do have clients that are asking us for this training, and they're asking for just something, not somebody's opinion, but rather what is an acceptable DEI, shall we say, even policies, behavior. Would this be open to anybody, or do you have to be a member of NAWBO?
No, it's open to anybody, and it's $68 for members and $98 for non-members. But I am offering a special code today, so if you want to go online and sign up at nawbo.org, and you want to bring your corporate team members, please reach out to me directly, Seana Marie. You can find me on Facebook. You can find me on the NAWBO website, but it's president at nawbovc.org, and I'll give you a special corporate code, but today the code is PRE 2021. Excuse me, PRE 25, sorry. It's PRE 25, and that'll get anybody a 25% discount on the course.
Is there a limit as to how many people you're going to allow into this course?
Yes, there is.
Okay.
Yes, there is.
So first come, first serve, so
Absolutely.
We all have to hurry.
Yeah, and it's, like I said, one session a month for 30 minutes, and then there'll be a little bit of follow-up work, but it's going to be solid, fast, and effective.
I love it. I love it. Tell me, what got you interested in NAWBO to begin with?
Well, I've been, as you mentioned, a business owner for quite a few years, and I really wanted to be surrounded by supportive sisters in business, women that went through what I went through, or having maybe they're in the building phase of their business, or maybe they've been in business for many years and they have some great information based on hindsight of advice to give to me. So I really wanted to be a part of an organization that was supportive of women in business, and I have to make the point too that we do have several male members, and we like to say we're the sisters that thrive together and the men that support us.
Oh, I love that.
Yes.
I love that. Because that's always one of the reasons why I had really steered away from anything women only, because I wanted to be inclusive. So I wanted to be part of a group that was as well.
Right.
Tell me, though, how has COVID changed NAWBO?
Well, we pivoted fast. Of course, we went straight to virtual meetings. And the best part about that is that we have members coming into our meetings from all over the country. So if somebody is looking to expand their business beyond locally, they can attend a NAWBO event in any of the major cities across the country. So I went to happy hour in Atlanta, Georgia the other day with my NAWBO sisters.
Nice.
And because I was looking for a couple of client resources there in that area, and I was able to fulfill those wants and needs by attending another NAWBO event.
You know, I think if COVID's done anything, it has opened those doors for a lot of people going virtual. Because I know some other networking organizations that I belong to, I've gone to meetings in Europe and Australia and all over the country.
Mm-hmm.
And we would have never had that opportunity pre-COVID.
Right. I mean, we had somebody from Germany ask us if we can help them draft a COVID policy. And it's just for them, not necessarily something that we would do normally. But we did do that. And then we also said, but you need to check with your local ordinances to make sure that this is still in line. This is just what we think is best practice here. Doesn't mean that that's what's going to apply with you.
Right.
But they were thrilled that they at least had something to start. And I mean, I still think of little old me, starting this whole business on my kitchen table and being now able to talk to people in Europe. It's very humbling to me, and I have to pinch myself often.
Yes. The virtual world is really expansive.
Yeah, it's great. It's great. But, one of the things, was there something else that is coming up that you wanted to share with us about NAWBO?
Well, we have our membership drive happening right now, and up until October 31st, you can save $45 on your membership, your initiation fee. So we really encourage you to be a part of an organization that supports you. And we like to say that whether you're part of NAWBO or not, we're still fighting for you. We work very hard on public policy and legislative issues that affect not only women in business, but small businesses as a whole. And we have a lot of great things to claim for that. And that's one thing as my business, your PR girls, is that I was really appreciative of the policies and regulations that NAWBO fights for, so I can help expand and grow my own business.
Right. So what's the goal? How many people are you hoping to join you?
In NAWBO?
Mm-hmm.
Well, we'd like to be 65 strong, by the end of 2022. We're a small but mighty group, and we've been growing slowly and comfortably. And as people are starting to recognize the value and understand the benefits, my company, Your PR Girls, has benefited in many ways because I'm able to provide creative advertising specialties and promotional products for anybody who is growing their business. And it's great because I can work with a small business or the large. So the diverse membership is really a great benefit.
So I'm glad you said that, because I wanted to ask you, what has been the most innovative promotional item that you came up with during COVID?
Oh, well, we're doing so many mailing things, and we're doing a lot of personal deliveries because since people aren't coming into the office to get their swag and merch, we're actually making personal deliveries. I think the most fun piece that a corporate client did is they did a lawn chair for all their employees. So when the employees had to do a meeting and they wanted to sit out in the sun, they encouraged them to do so. So they created a really nice chair, and then the employees liked it so much that they wanted them for their clients. So then they ended up taking them to their clients when they were having meetings with them in their front yard, so they could social distance and they could have two chairs on the front yard with the client's logo on it.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Beautiful. That's great. But see, this is what I mean.
Mm-hmm.
Lawn chairs would never have been the thing to do just 2 years ago. You couldn't sell your lawn chairs.
Yeah. So it was also, from an HR perspective, it was encouraging their employees to take their breaks when they're supposed to take their breaks.
Exactly.
And so it was kind of a win-win situation all the way around.
It's interesting you should say that, because one of my clients, that's exactly what they did. They bought lawn chairs, and because they couldn't have an indoor room or an indoor dining area for them anymore, they made an outdoor. And it was just portable lawn chairs and one of those foldable tables. But it was only for one, so it was still within compliance. They weren't sharing food. They weren't doing anything like that. And now they love it. I mean, at first it was a little weird because everybody carried their chairs and like, wait, where are you going? Are you going home? No, I'm going to break. But now they love it.
Yeah.
Yeah, they absolutely love it. No, thank you. Tell me, Seana, if somebody wanted to get a hold of you for Your PR Girls, tell us why we would reach out to you. You said promotional items. Tell us, what else beside the lawn chair you could turn around and personalize for your clients?
Well, you name it, we logo it. We've been doing this for over 25 years. My mom and I started this business, and we can do everything from the pen to the trade show booth and everything in between. So we really consider ourselves a promotional products and services business. So you name it, we can logo it. Custom screen printing, embroidery, pens, magnets, mugs, you know.
I don't know if you still have this jacket or not, Seana, but back in the day, Seana had this Levi jacket, denim jacket, where she had the logos of all of her clients embroidered on it. And it was pretty cool. I mean, it was advertising her clients and...
Yeah, my walking billboard. I still have my wearable billboard. I actually have 4 of them now. So as clients ordered embroidery, I would have their logo added to my jacket. So I just wear their jacket around all the time, and so I'm constantly wearing my clients' logos.
I love the patches and the logos and all. I like embroidery as a whole, just because for me it just says you took the care to do it. Not that screen printing is not good. There's a place and time for everything.
Right.
But I've been telling Jeff, I think I want to give my clients like HR patches when they when they've done something, but for the walls. So like in a, what do you call those? The shadow boxes?
Yes.
Kind of like you've reached compliance. Here it is. And when they've come out of compliance, I take it back.
I love it. I have a new great product that I'm representing, and it is a patch, but it's made from recycled water bottles.
Ooh.
And it's a 3D foam permanent patch. So I'll have to share that with you at another time.
Yes, most definitely. So that's for your PR girls. Tell us how people would get a hold of you for that. Not NAWBO. You gave us the NAWBO information. Now tell us about...
For Your PR Girls, my website is yourprgirls.com. Facebook is Your PR Girls. Instagram the same. And my personal number is 805-648-7748 or SMS at yourprgirls.com.
As always, thank you so much for being so informative.
Thank you.
Can't wait. I'm going to send you a few people for this workshop. Everybody needs it.
Everybody needs it. And like I said, I'm offering corporate discounts. So if anybody wants to reach out to me to get that corporate code, please email me at president@nawbovc.org.
Thank you so much, Seana.
Thank you, Seana. Fun with HR is brought to you by the HR Firm. You can reach them at 805-853-FIRM. That's 805-853-3476. Because if you have employees, you have issues.
If you have employees, then it is your responsibility to keep them safe. That means written rules and procedures and processes all in place. If you don't have an illness and injury prevention program, a COVID prevention program, safety program, or emergency action plan, you could have Cal OSHA knocking on your door with a notice of violation and fines in hand. But don't worry, you're not on your own. The HR firm can walk you through the safety maze to get your company compliant, all while helping you keep your employees safe. And remember, these need to be written and distributed to employees. They offer a complimentary 1-hour consultation for new clients. As your local HR consultant, they're just a phone call away. For more information, contact them at info@thehrfirm.com or at 805-835-3476. The HR Firm, because if you have employees, you have issues. Finding people to add to your team can be difficult when you don't know where to start. Do you even have a job description? Do you know how much you should be paying them? Do you even know where to find the right people for your team? Let the professionals at Atharva Workforce help you get started and find your next star employee. Spend time on your business, not searching for that new star employee. Call Atharva Workforce at 805-826-0033.
Hey, Rosandra, the results of our poll question from last week, candy corn, love it or hate it, are in. And 67% of the respondents, and I can't believe this.
How is this even possible?
67% love it.
Wait. This is the same candy that was described as the same as eating candles?
Yes, eating wax, yes.
Ooh. Well,
But, you know, one thing we're going to do is we will definitely have that on our table at the Latino Business Expo on
so I'll
Thursday.
finally be able to
You'll
eat
finally
some.
get to try it, yeah.
Okay. Well, you know, the thing with it is they're going to be individually wrapped.
Yes.
Okay. Got to make sure of that.
They will be COVID compliant.
So then, what's this week's question?
Okay, this week's question, because it's the Halloween season, and we were talking about this earlier. What was your favorite Halloween costume as a child?
Well, I have to tell you, I didn't like Halloween. My parents really needed a better child than me, but, they got stuck with me. I hated Halloween. I hated begging for candy. Therefore, I hated dressing up for anything. It made no sense to me. Why couldn't they just buy me the candy?
That'd be too easy.
Right.
They were teaching you how to network and be an entrepreneur early.
No, I didn't take it like that because I don't see anybody dressing up. I don't see anybody in costumes when they're networking. And we have somebody here that will tell us if I'm right or not.
We do. We have our really good friend Adam Casillas here, whose motto is, if you're not networking, you're not working.
Well, before we go to that, though, what is your favorite childhood costume?
Oh, I don't know. We were talking about, there's one that really stands out. And I was a hobo one year, with the stick and the
Yes,
knapsack
I know what a
on the
hobo
back.
is.
But how we made the beard,
Uh-huh.
and I don't even know if people know what Noxzema is now, but we took Noxzema and we smeared it on my face, and then they took coffee grounds and they pushed it into the Noxzema to make the beard. If you could just imagine what a mess that was.
Are there pictures?
No.
It was pre-internet.
It was pre-camera. That's how old.
Oh, no.
how old
Come
it
on.
is.
Well, you might have heard a little bit of a snicker in our background.
Yes.
Thank you for laughing out loud because I thought it was hilarious when he told me. Adam, welcome to the show.
Good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm doing great. I'm just trying to figure out. I believe wax isn't bad for you, and I was a hobo too, and so those things aren't really bad for you, are they?
Well, my niece ate crayons constantly. We couldn't have crayons in the house whenever she was in because they would go disappearing, and if it goes in one end, has to come out the other. So we couldn't have any of that.
You went there.
I had to.
Okay. Anyway,
She's 25 and loving me
This is
now.
about Adam right now.
Yes.
Let's focus on Adam. Adam, I know that you grew up in Oxnard, and you actually went to the same high school I did, Wainimi High School. So go Vikings.
That's right.
But you told me an interesting story about what your parents made you do as a child with tomatoes. Do you want to share that story with our audience?
Well, it was back in the day when before cameras. I'm about your age, right? So
yeah, you are.
if you wanted to, you didn't walk up to your parents and ask them for money. And not in my house, okay. Fortunately, I had the benefit of growing up with a dad that was born during the Depression, so he taught you the value of the dollar and the value of the penny and the work ethic that he instilled in us. So if we wanted something, we needed to figure out a way to make some money to earn it. So we had an uncle, very generous uncle all the time, and it was my mom's little brother. He used to come by every weekend, and he would. Throw us change in the Mexican culture. It's called a domingo. Your Sunday allowance. It'd be a quarter, 50 cents, whatever it was back in the 70s. That was enough to go do something.
That was a lot of money.
Yeah. So I remember one day, me and my brother were out there waiting for him. Like, where's he at? What's going on? And we asked him for $1. And he looked at us and like, you want to make some money, then you need to get to work. Well, at the time, he was a manager at a Richview packing house here in Oxnard. So he dropped off tomatoes and cucumbers, and he goes, there you go. And he gave us the price. He set the price and says, go hustle these, sell them to your neighbors, whatever. So we started doing that. I think I was like 9, and we were 10 cents a piece, 3 for a quarter, all across the board, cucumbers or tomatoes. And he brought us a wagon, and we'd go hustle in the community. So fast forward, I'm still got clients in high school, one of them in high school. And there was a lady that used to ask us for a box of green tomatoes so she can do her fried green tomatoes. Well, I continued delivering tomatoes to her as long as she was alive, up until when I was 20. Just giving her a box, not selling them to her. I just take her a box and drop them off on her porch. But, work ethic to me is, earning what you want, not having it given to you. And, this generation, I hate to say it, but, parents are hurting their children by just giving them everything they want. Let them earn it instead of preparing for their life later. So, work ethic's everything to me.
So that was your first venture into entrepreneurism. What kind of jobs did you do growing up?
Well, believe it or not, by the time I was older, 11 years old,
Ooh.
I got recruited by a Los Angeles Times door-to-door salesman to sell subscriptions.
Wait, this was when the newspapers were heavy.
Yeah, this is 1976, okay? And they would give you $10 per subscription. And I was like, $10? I can make $10 a day if I sell one. Well, I'd sell 2 or 3 a day.
Very good.
So, and I'd come home and, hook my mom up with a little cash. And he paid you cash right on the spot. He's probably what he was doing was illegal by having
Just
us
a little, yes.
having us kids work for him back then. But, those are the kind of things you do when you grow up looking for an opportunity to make some money. I also used to just show up at the grocery store and bag groceries at Smith Food King in the Center Point.
I remember that store.
Two guys shopping center. I would show up there. The manager would never. He would get so tired of seeing me. He's finally like, "Just don't take money from nobody. I'll give you $5 at the end of the day." So he'd pay me, and I wasn't even on payroll, but he couldn't get rid of me. So I was always there on the weekends and hustling when I was supposed to be at catechism.
Oh.
There was
Wait, did you get through catechism or did you get caught?
I was that kid that show up once every now and then and pass. So I was good at that. But they should have never put a Thrifty's ice cream right across the street from St. Anthony's. But it was there.
Wait. Favorite Thrifty's ice cream?
Yes, ma'am. 10 cents for a single, 15 cents for a double, 20 cents for a triple.
What did you
back
get?
then. Oh, pistachio cashew. Used to get all the
Nice.
time.
Nice. What about the Cherries Jubilee?
Tried them all, but pistachio was my favorite. Coconut pineapple is good. And
Oh,
Rocky Road.
Now you're speaking my language.
Yeah.
He lost me at coconut pineapple.
I don't think they had one I didn't like, to be honest with
know,
you. Just
I
what
know.
I liked the most is simple.
What
as
I'm
that.
hearing, though, is that you've been in the community, you've been helping, you've been hustling, you've definitely made sure that you earned everything that you had. And my hat's off to you, because those are amazing stories. That's from an HR perspective. Yes, I cringe when child labor laws are violated, but I have to tell you, the work ethic that instilled in you is what every single one of my clients is looking for in their employees. They want someone that is going to show up, that is going to be consistent, that is going to help them grow. And to a certain degree, I mean, if we could duplicate you, everybody would be really happy.
Well, being the baby of 11 kids, 12 actually, one of my brothers passed away at birth. Watching 7 older brothers and 3 older sisters, watching them earn and learn and working and hustling, set the bar, set the bar pretty high. Every one of us are, overachievers. We always try to be the best of what we do in any industry, whether it be what I do to my retired siblings that were in education, and we all try to do the best we can.
How did you come up with the Latino Expo idea?
Well, in 2007, I started real estate. I got involved with real estate with Casillas Financial Services with my brother George, who was the broker at the time. And, of course, we all know what happened in 2008. But I was looking for events to network at. So we go to events and we're joining different groups and this and that. And none of them were ever really they were very to one industry or a private type thing, no disrespect to groups, but when they only invite their members to their events, it kind of does, to me, doesn't transfer to commerce. If you want to build your brand or your business or your company, you need to invite anybody and everybody that's interested and lead by example. It's like when a restaurant puts out complimentary food. I learned this from a very good friend of mine. And I had asked him, I go, well, you're donating it. You really don't have to go the extra mile. He goes, what do you mean? He goes, the extra mile is my brand. So whether it's free or they're paying for it, they're going to get the same thing. Now, I believe that's the way it should be when you're networking. Invite everybody, treat everybody the same. And, I've been to events where they asked, oh, are you a member? And I'd say no. And they say, oh, well, this raffle bowl is for members only. And I was like, you got to be kidding me. I said, okay, all right, you have a nice day. And just move along, kill them with kindness and keep moving. But the expo in 2007, after talking to my broker at the time, because I just switched over from my brother, because my brother we closed the office and he moved back to Orange County, where he had another office. And I started working with my partner, who is still my partner now, Richard Ramos, who I've learned a lot from, a lot. And there's no limit to what he's willing to try or do to succeed. So I told him, I said, I can we went to an event for realtors. When I got into the room, it was full of, the vendors were all realtors. Okay. And a couple lenders and a couple escrows, all good people and everything, but I'm not going to generate new business from that, right? Okay.
Right.
The vendors have priority on whoever comes in there. So I told my partner, Richard, that I said, my broker at the time, and I said, I can do something bigger and better than this just with the contacts that I have on my phone. Because I was a bartender for 25 years in Ventura County. So I got to meet a lot of people and I knew a lot of people. So he said, well, let's do it. So fast forward 6 months later, the Latino Business Expo in 2007 at the Ventura 4 Points by Sheraton was born. And we ended up with 65 vendors on the first event. And it was in such demand during the crash of the market and everything that I could not believe that. If anybody here, most of the people listening are familiar with the 4 Points Sheraton parking lot and the overflow parking lot they use for the fairgrounds. Well, I filled up all those parking lots and the one across the street at the Holiday Inn Express. We had so many people there, I couldn't believe it, and that's when I said, wow, this is pretty amazing. I created the event so I can work my real estate booth while I was there. Little did I know what it was going to turn into. The only thing I could do is one of my lender friends at the time, Marilyn Flores, that was working at a table, helped with our booth because me and Richard, we didn't have time to work the booth. We were so slammed with the expo. So we started, getting a lot of feedback with people asking us, when's the next one? And we decided to do it every 6 months. So fast forward, we're on our 26th expo. We've done Health and Wellness CBD Expo. We've done the Latino Business Expo in San Diego. And we've been here in Ventura County, since 2007. With each expo we organize, there's like 4 to 5 mini mixers that we set up and put on the calendar leading up to the expo. So you're looking at 10 to 12 events a year. So average at one event a month on the average. And we've been doing that since 2007.
I know. I watch Adam work, the Latino Business Expo, and I don't know how he has time for anything else. But how has the expo changed over the years?
Well, this is a great example, this expo that I have. I got like 25 new vendors that are new to the expo. And I love that because when you get new vendors, you retain them. The expo is successful if you work it, if you utilize it. If you just sit back and smile at people walking by your booth, you're going to end up with an empty table. All your stuff will be gone, and you will have not made no contacts. Mm-hmm. This expo has my personality on it.
Oh, absolutely.
It's a little loud. There's tequila floating around. There's beer. There's food. There's networking. There's Pepsi. There's water. There's other. There's something for everybody. But the idea of anybody just sitting at a booth and expecting to do business at my event is the wrong idea, the wrong approach. I've told people in the past I've had 2 exact businesses, different companies, literally maybe 30 feet from each other. One of them books 30 new contracts with clients. The other one gets 2. The owner of the booth that sells the 2 tells me, hey, I don't think we're going to be able to participate anymore. It wasn't really that good for me. And I said, well, I knew you were going to say that. So my partner took pictures of your competition and of your table. Well, they sent hourly employees that had no skin in the game, that were just sitting at the table and handing their stuff out. While their competition had about 6 or 7 sales reps dressed to the T, working the room, working the crowd. And out in front of the table promoting their products.
Right.
So, expos have changed a lot. I guess the biggest change I can say about ours is that it's just growing, and it's the industry, especially this year after COVID, it wasn't that hard for me to sell the event out. I mean, we got a couple spots left, but as far as I'm concerned, it's almost sold out. And for people wanting to get back out in the community and public, as the previous guest said, Sienna, they started right off the back in COVID networking. As you know, we did too.
Yep.
With the Expo Networking Group and the Coffee Connections in the morning with my good friend Patrick Potier. We did not miss a meeting. As soon as they did the shutdown the next week, we were on Zoom, and we were Zooming, and we're still Zooming. I think that the idea of just sitting back and hibernating during this thing was the wrong thing to do. You needed to keep, you have to, keep your wheels moving. It's like I kept saying, the merry-go-round's going to stop. You want to hit the ground running when you come off of it. And I believe that I was able to be successful with that because I hit the ground running. We're extremely busy with several different business opportunities that we're working on also, me and my partner. So my hat's off to everybody that continues to support us and has been there for us over 13 years.
So the expo is this Thursday from what time to what time?
If you were lucky enough to get one of the VIP tickets, you get to get in at 3 o'clock. If you didn't, then the regular tickets are 4 p.m. And if you're going to pay the $10 when you get there to get in, it's 4 p.m. And again, I gave out close to 5,000 free tickets. So if you didn't get one, then you're not a networker because I was everywhere, and I'm still going to be everywhere.
You were.
And I'm not done. There's still more going on between now and Thursday. So, with that, Latino Business Expo, October 28th, 2021, Ventura County Fairgrounds.
And we will be there. And thank you for coming on today, Adam. We really appreciate you.
Thank you. I appreciate you guys. Thank you for supporting the Latino Business Expo.
Fun with HR is brought to you by Atharva Workforce. You can reach them at 805-826-0033. If you think hiring a professional is hard, wait till you hire an amateur.
Every business owner knows employees can be your biggest asset and your biggest liability. That's why you need to know for sure that your company is compliant with today's ever-changing laws. The HR Firm is the premier human resource consulting firm in Ventura County, specializing in working with small to mid-sized companies. The HR Firm provides everything you need to keep your company compliant, from handbooks to policies and procedures to workers' compensation claim management. We've got you covered. They offer a complimentary 1-hour consultation for new clients. As your local HR consultant, they're just a phone call away. For more information, contact them at info@thehrfirm.com or at 805-835-3476. Because if you have employees, you have issues. Hey employers, are you tired of spending your valuable time posting jobs on the job boards? Are you tired of looking through resumes to find that one diamond in the rough? Your time is way too valuable, so let the professionals at Atharva Workforce find that diamond in the rough for you. Spend more time on your business and less time looking for those employees. Call Atharva Workforce at 805-826-0033.
Welcome back to Fun with HR. Atharva Workforce is currently looking for window washing technicians, bookkeepers, inventory specialists, delivery drivers, office administrators, back office dental assistants, and jewelry associates. If this is you, give Atharva Workforce a call at 805-826-0033.
Wow, lots of opportunity for people to change jobs or just continue on with their careers.
Lots of great opportunity.
So I have to share with you that our next guest is someone that has the distinct pleasure, I think, maybe not, of being the first person that knew that you and I were dating.
Ooh, I thought that was Tracy.
Well, what Tracy knew because
Tracy doesn't count.
No, she does.
I'm
But
gonna tell
Tracy
Tracy
knows. Wait, but she's in our inner circle. This is outer circle, as in outside, as in Simi Valley. We were like in
All
Simi
the way out
Valley.
in
Yeah, I
Simi
know.
Valley. Yes.
So, one of the things, Nelson, welcome to
you.
our show. Most people don't realize that the very first date that we actually took as a couple was to your wine shop at home demo. And we loved it. I know that you and I have been friends for a while, and I love your wine. That's how I ventured into the wine world. You were very nice in allowing me to showcase your wines, and you guided me to what went with what. So this is way before when I'll be honest, I thought wine all came in a box. And
It's a common misconception.
I know. Like, what? They're not square? What's going on here? But I love your events. I love the fact that you bring them to the house. I love that you have the wine set up. It's intimate. It's something that you educate people on. And on top of that, they get to keep the wine afterwards.
They do keep the wine. I don't take it back with me. So that's, I call it
Huge.
the unspoken perk of having a wine tasting with me.
Right. And part of it is because for somebody that doesn't know wine, it's something that I found very intimidating to walk into a winery, because the first thing that anybody will say is, well, what would you like? And I would freeze up and go, Chardonnay or a Cab. And at the time, both of them were really not my palate, but I would suck it down thinking, wine. And it took you
Right.
to kind of help me to realize there's a difference between the lights and the darks and the reds and the super Tuscans. And what does that mean? You know, all these
Right.
terms.
I think our industry, speaking about the wine industry in general, unfortunately, is great at marketing and also has made people very intimidated by their marketing. Chardonnay, Cabernet, those are kings of California wines. I don't think they will ever be displaced. But the world of wine is so big that you're getting different varietals now coming into season, and people are loving it. And to be able to experience that, and people go, like you, say, oh my gosh, I don't have to drink a big, buttery, oaky Chardonnay.
No.
No, you don't. You can try something else. But I did want to bring up, because you started the show with saying the holidays are coming, HR is a problem when you drink on the job. What a conundrum, because I drink on the job almost every time.
Yeah, that's a requirement for you.
I
That's in
know.
your job
I know.
description.
I'm my own HR department.
But that's in your job description, right?
It is.
Okay,
it
so
is.
we're okay.
Yes, yeah.
And
I
that
do
does-
have guidelines. They do give me guidelines.
Yeah, and that doesn't mean put it in your job description to make it okay at work. It's just this is something that you do.
Right. So, and I forgot that Halloween is not a fun. You don't like Halloween.
I don't like Halloween.
It's my favorite holiday.
I know. I think most people love Halloween. Most people, I think, kind of go, yes, and they embrace it, and they like go all out. I want to hide in the corner and
not
wait
do
for
it.
it to be over.
Okay, how about, this is not really Halloween, but what about Dia de los Muertos?
Same thing.
Same thing? You're not
Yeah,
into?
that gets me a little bit, kind of sad, because I then remember all the people that
Yes.
have passed, and then I freak out thinking, what if someday nobody remembers these people? And Coco ruined it for me.
Coco ruined it for everyone. We're like, you
Coco
can't
ruined
forget
it, yeah.
anyone.
You can't forget anybody. Now we have a wall, not a little thing. It's a whole wall. But yeah, I mean, for me, Dia de los Muertos is very personal.
Yeah, it's
Very personal. And Halloween is like, wow, you're out there, and people are very, very creative. We have seen some of the most beautiful costumes, like people go all out, like steampunk sort
yeah.
of thing. And then we see the cutest little things, and, for me, it's like,
That's another HR issue,
I
right?
know.
Halloween costumes, what's appropriate, what's not?
yeah, the sexy kitten at work when you're a law firm is not a good thing.
Yeah. Okay, so I did work for a Halloween company, almost 7 years ago. And they encouraged very casual wear, where some people really took it to extra casual, as I called it, and I had to sit down with them, and that's not a fun conversation. I wish I could have been drinking when I had those conversations, because they're not
Right.
fun. But it's like, hey, so we have some complaints that we need to address. I put on my HR voice there.
Oh, the stern but friendly.
Stern but friendly, nurturing, and then critical,
Yeah.
right? Yeah. Yes.
Bring the hammer down.
So this is one of the reasons I think you probably came to my wine tastings. You probably had to deal with something. You're like, you know what? I need a drink.
Yeah,
And-
well, and at the time, I was also so new to Ventura, as in
that's right.
I
yeah.
had been here, but I'd been like, closeted away. I didn't really know very many people, and it was very social. It was safe. It was, not like I was going to a bar or anything like that. And what I loved about it was the education. I mean, you got me at the education part.
So what's really interesting is I think I might be missing one. We've had 3 tastings together. One was virtual
Yes.
last year.
Uh-huh.
And, a lot of people ask me right away, am I a sommelier? Did I go to school for wine? And I told them no. I actually, not unlike you, I also didn't really know what wine,
Right.
I knew I liked it. I knew what I liked, usually reds, but I didn't know much outside of that. And one of the great things about the winery that I have the pleasure of repping for is the winemaker is very open to educating us. And I call myself a cork dork because I get
I love that.
yeah,
I love that.
I get into all the details about
Like the
winemaking.
fermentation
The
process.
fermentation, like what
there's
causes
a science
this. Yeah.
behind it.
There is a definite science. And I think when you have a good wine, it's a balance between art and science, because when you do a wine that's scientifically sound, it's not always tasting great.
Mm-hmm.
So I talk to my winemaker about this a lot, and we're friends on Facebook. And that's just it's so funny because he'll say something like, "Oh, Nelson, I know you'll understand, so I'll tell you this about this wine," because he knows that I love all that kind of information. But I didn't go to school for it. I am sent to people's homes with all the notes I need to talk about the wine. And after 11 plus years of doing this, come on, if you didn't pick up something along the way.
Right.
But I tell people when people get interested in what I do, I say, you don't have to be super educated to do this. Can you, and just like Adam before you, it's a networking event when you go to these
Absolutely.
tastings as a business owner, right?
Yeah.
They're future customers, future hosts, all that kind of stuff.
Absolutely. I met some of the most nice people at your events. And then when I had my own event, it's a little nerve-wracking because people were coming to my home. I don't invite people to my home. And then here you were asking me to do just that. But
Pushing you out of your comfort zone.
I know. It was a really bad year for me. And then all of a sudden, everything just relaxed because you brought the wine, you had your notes, and then if people loved your wine, they could order it, and they had it delivered. They didn't even have to go to a
Right.
store. They didn't have to figure out if they really liked it or not because they were tasting and
Right.
they were able to enjoy it. So that was the third thing that just completely shocked me. I thought I can't go to Bevmo and say, please, pop this one open because I want to
Right.
try it.
Well, it's a try before you decide kind of thing. When you go to any winery, right, whether it's locally or you go to the big guys, you taste 6, 7 wines, and you're lucky if you like 2 or 3 of them. I think that's a success if you're ever working in a tasting room for a
Yes.
winery. It's really nice to see that time and time again, our wines are, people will say, I can't pick a favorite. And I love that. And I said, well, then I did my job right, picking out your sampler.
Right, because if I recall, even from our virtual tasting, one of the things that I recall was that my favorite that day is not something that I normally would go to.
Right.
And yet I thought, wow, either my palate's changing or maybe it's just the mood. There's all these maybes. Whatever the case is, you like what you like. And there's no such thing as the wrong wine to drink.
Nope. The right wine is the one you have open in front of you.
Love it. How has COVID changed your business?
Well, when you talk about our business model is going to people's homes
Right.
and having 12 people gather around a table to drink wine, this was
Super spreader.
Yeah, I know, super spreader event every time I would go out. So, and then of course the cancellations came in, right? Everyone started canceling their event. They didn't feel comfortable. Totally understandable. And we as wine consultants, we're not in all 50 states, but we're in a big, giant Facebook group, about 3,000 of us in there.
Sure.
And we should start throwing ideas around, like, how do we do this? The winery can still ship wine. That's the good news. How do we get people together? And I, in 2019, had played around with virtual wine tastings. And people were seriously like, what do you mean virtual wine tasting? I said, I don't know. It's just, if I can do this from home, even better, And so I sent wine off to Washington to someone I knew up there, and they held their in-home wine tasting over Zoom. I had people who literally told me, what is Zoom? And let me tell you, 2021, 2021, everyone knows what Zoom is. My mom knows how to log in and go on. And we flipped our entire business to virtual tastings. So we would send wine, in any state that we operated in. We all jump on Zoom. The best one I had was 17 people across 4 different states. And it was the first time the family had gotten together that entire year because they could not get together. Some of them just refused to even fly anywhere. So
don't blame them.
Yeah, don't blame them. And so I said, all right, I'm sending you all wine. 3 p.m. We're all clocking in. We're all coming in and Zooming wine tasting. So it's really fun.
Yeah,
Wow,
my college
cool.
roommates. We had a weekly wine down hour that turned into wine down 4 hours, and then wine down just period.
Yeah.
And we just kind of pour our favorite glass of wine and we just talk to each other, because until the pandemic happened, we had never even thought about getting together virtually. Like, the thought of it just would not even cross our minds, and yet we're in completely different parts of California. So I could see how it works.
It works, and I think you nailed it. Now, as we're more open than we were last year, for sure, the biggest theme about a wine tasting, if it's in person, people just want to get together. The wine is almost secondary to the entire event. They're saying, I haven't seen my family, I haven't seen my girlfriends, I haven't done this. And we'll do them in the backyard. I've worn masks, doing a wine tasting. And I said, can you hear me behind this? Okay, good. Here we go. And, the other part of this is all these side businesses that popped up. I paired up with charcuterie people who put individually sized charcuterie boxes. It's really awesome. And it's a great, I think that was also really fun to synergize with other businesses.
Right, like the blingy person.
I was going to say the blingy person. Yeah, so you got a queen crown wine glass. And this is a client of mine that she lives down in Riverside County.
Love it.
We connected you, and you have bling now.
I have a crowned bling wine glass that is my go-to.
And you can find it on Instagram. And if you decide you want one too, we have there's different designs. I don't make them. Use the discount code Artisan Tastings, and you will get 25% off.
Nice.
And Jeff, does she whip out that glass every time?
Every Friday.
Every Friday,
Yeah.
The queen is ready.
Along with the
queen holds
tiaras.
court.
I have a matching tiara.
Nice.
How else do you
You
drink
have to
wine?
post that so people can see.
Oh, I think I post a lot about my tiara fetish here. Princess party. I think the princess
do
party, since no one seems to want to go somewhere, we need to talk about a princess party virtual wine tasting.
There you go. I
and
like
then we
that
could
idea.
all wear our tiaras and not be seen in public.
There you go. Just over Zoom, and then blast it all over Instagram
That's right.
and all that.
That's
Yeah.
right. That's right. But no one really watches anything anymore. I mean, we're all out and about anyways.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right. You're right.
Nelson, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you absolutely for an amazing experience. I wanted to make sure that we featured you. And more importantly, one of the things that I wanted to just say is that it's amazing to see how your business has grown. And I hope that just by having more people hear about it and kind of get to know you a little bit, that they will reach out to you.
Yeah, 2020 was actually the strongest year since 2014 that I had. So, talk about pivoting and
Go
building
team.
your business back up. And it was great to reconnect with a lot of clients, for sure.
Wonderful. Well, thank you for being here with us.
And before we let Nelson go, how do people get in touch with you, Nelson?
The best way is, you can follow me on social media. I'm very active on Instagram, as you guys know, and that's at Artisan Tastings with an S, because we never just do one taste. And you can also find my website at artisantastings.com. Book your own wine tasting and have a good time. And maybe we'll bring some bling also. We'll see.
Absolutely.
And if you love wine, you really need to get in touch with Nelson, because his wines really are very good. We enjoy them very much. Thank you for coming on, Nelson.
Thank you.
Well, Rosandra,
You sound sad.
I am sad.
Why?
Because every time the show is over, it's like sad.
Oh, I get it. But look, we have next week to look forward to.
We have next week to look forward to. But coming up, things I want to remind people of is Latino Business Expo is going to be next Thursday. We have the charcuterie class by Shannon at Pirano's next Thursday. And ongoing right now is the Boys and Girls Club auction. Their silent auction is actually going on now. Go to the Boys and Girls Club website to register for that and help support the Boys and Girls Club. Did I miss anything?
No, I think you got it.
That is very good then. So, Fun with HR was brought to you by the professionals at the HR firm in the Tharva workforce. We take care of each other so we can grow together. Until next week, when we will have either Craig Clausen or Pat Pothier from the Pink Musketeers. We're going to have Isaac from a Tharva workforce in with us, and Josh D'Amigo with Influence You. Everybody have a great week. Thank you.
I'm out of time and all I got is 4 minutes. 4 minutes, eh? I'm out of time and all I got is 4 minutes. 4 minutes, eh?